Thanks for joining me today. This is about the PSERS problem and why it matters so much. It's common sense information for employees and taxpayers in the Unionville-Chad Ford School District. You're listening to Dr. Paul Price, School Board Director, Region C for the Unionville-Chad Ford School District. The views I'm about to say are mine and mine alone, although they may represent those of other school district board members as well. This is not about blame. Board members are not assigning blame to the Teachers Association, the teachers themselves, the support staff, or anyone else that receives PSERS retirement benefits. We are, however, forced to consider the very real costs of the system that the Unionville-Chad Ford School District and ultimately the taxpayers must shoulder. Here are the scheduled PSERS increases under the newly revised House bill to save the system. In the current school year, between the district and the state, we're paying 5.64% of payroll into the PSERS system. Over the next 5, 10, and 15 years, this is going to go up to almost 28% of payroll, or almost 400% more than we're currently paying. What does this mean in real dollars? Let's think about it in real terms now. We have about 330 full-time equivalent teachers here at Unionville-Chad's Ford. The average basic salary, not counting any supplementals, is about $77,000. The basic salary expense then is 330 teachers times $76,798 means about $25,343,000 in basic salary for those 330 full-time teachers. The PSERS contributions at the current rate of 5.64% come to $1.429 million in the current school year. Here's the scheduled cash crunch that's on the books with the new House bill that passed last year. The current PSERS contribution, as I said, is a little over $1.4 million this year. And that's just the professional staff. It does not include the support employees such as the bus drivers and the cafeteria workers and the secretarial staff, etc. The projected PSERS levels that are coming, 5 years from now, the PSERS contribution will be $6.143 million if there are no raises whatsoever between now and then, going from $1.4 million to $6.1 million in 5 years. In 10 years, it will be over $6.9 million, and in 15 years, that will be over $7 million more than we're paying today if there are zero raises in the next 5, 10, and 15 years. These are staggering increases. Let's do the math and see what it means. Again, without any salary raises at all, the increase in PSERS 5 years from today would be over $4.7 million. That's just the increase. The increase in 10 years would be over $5.55 million, and the increase 15 years out will be over $5.6 million per year. Everybody is upset right now because we received the governor's austerity, realistic budget, whatever you want to call it, and we have to fill about a $1.1 million gap due to that new budget where we lost about that much money that we thought we were going to have. Parents, teachers, support staff, taxpayers are all unhappy with today's situation. Nobody wants to make cuts in programs. Nobody wants to outsource buses. But what do you do to fill a $1.1 million gap? What will things be like as we are forced to face the coming $4.7 million to $5.6 million in extra PSERS costs every single year? Think about that, and let's think about the teacher's contract. Salary increases are not affordable. Regardless of what the teachers may believe, we just cannot afford it. We already face an almost impossible situation in planning for future budgets due to the PSERS increases and the cost of health care. Regardless of how we arrived at this stage, we must now deal with it realistically and for the long term. It's too late to push it into the future. Future tax increases are restricted by Act 1 limits on a legal basis and by moral limits on another level. And what I mean by that is, how much can we ask the taxpayer who has seen horrible effects of this economy to pay to fund more and more and more school spending year after year? That's why Act 1 was set in place, to put legal limits on how much we could increase the taxes at property levels. And we can't just ignore that because we can. Like all other Americans, the school board must learn to live within our newly imposed budgetary limits. We can't just do what we want to do. We have to live with the money we have. Raises, by definition, have to come at the expense of programs, staffing, class sizing, outsourcing, or extracurricular activities. There are no other choices. Thanks for listening. This has been your host, Dr. Paul Price, for the Unionville Chad Ford School District.